Talking of softening the blow, we're going to whip up something absolutely delicious right now. Chubby, chubby, chubby is here, and we're going to be putting our beautiful spices that we created a moment ago to very good use with a beautiful stew. So in Ethiopia, Wot, and I'm spelling that W-O-T, Wot, not what, is a general name for all stews and sauces, and the word that comes before that word, Wot, then determines the type of stew. So today we're making a Kai Wot, which refers to a meat type of spicy stew in which beef is often used. And to cool things down from the heat of the dish, we are going to be serving it up with a beautiful Clover Bliss Double Cream plain yogurt. Talk about maxing out, but you've already created the spices. So talk me through the spice that you created with Jamie there.
We've got a whole lot of spices in here, right? We're talking cardamom, coriander seeds, cumin seeds, cloves, ginger, all of that, you know. We've got a whole lot of flavor, nutmeg. It's basically a flavor punch, like you keep saying.
Yeah, pow, right in your taste buds.
Right in your taste buds. Right. We're going to start it off with a beautiful glug of oil in here because, I mean, you can't start a dish without making sure you soften up that onion that we've got.
Yeah, and the oil also, and this is something I'm learning from when I make my curries from you amazing people that I get to cook with, is that the oil carries the flavor. That's what carries the flavor through the dish, so you need it there. Cool.
And we always say that if you're going to be making dishes that are cooking at a high temperature, it is best to use something like a sunflower oil, a canola oil that has a high smoking point.
Okay,
by smoking
so it doesn't break down.
Yes, cool. You don't want to be smoking up the whole kitchen, right? So I would suggest that stuff like avocado oils, olive oils are best for rather finishing dishes than starting dishes.
Okay, fantastic. Awesome. I know, like, and like grapeseed oil also has a high smoking point, so another good one to use. Cool, and those flavoured oils, it's good to get the healthy fats in, but you don't want to kind of use the unhealthy fats, have those unsaturated fats come in. Okay, so what is going on here? I'm just looking at these beautiful chunks of beef, and I'm thinking the stew is going to be amazing.
Yes, so I said earlier that there's a lentil stew that they make, which is called a shirobe kebe. Okay. So what we're doing now is doing a beef version of it. In essence, there's no lentils in this, but we're just going to be making a nice, delicious, you know, beef stew. You could even use goat meat if you wanted to. I think that would work perfectly well. So from there, I'm going in with my garlic. I don't think any dish is complete without garlic.
You need the flavor profile.
You need those flavors.
And I know garlic is not the first thing that you add because you don't want to burn the garlic. You want the flavor, but you don't want to burn it. Cool.
You don't want to burn it.
That up. Okay.
And the other reason we're using our Clover Bliss today, Graham, is because of the spiciness of this dish. You want something to mellow it out, to balance it out, those flavors, you know. So it works perfectly here with the savoriness of the spices that we've got, the earthiness of those flavors, the yogurt, and yogurt is actually a staple in their dishes anyway. So it is important to have.
It makes a lot of sense, and this is being the double cream is going to add that beautiful creamy texture, that perfect finish to it.
All right, so whole idea is not to rush it here. I've got my onions in there. I'm going to go in with my spices as well, because another thing I like to do is before I add my meat, I want to make sure that the onions and the garlic absorb all of that flavor, so that when I coat my meat in it, when I put my meat in there, it also just absorbs all of that flavor as well.
There, again, the oil is picking up the spiciness, and that's going to transfer to our beautiful chunks of beef. And I suppose you could, with what I love about a spice mix like this that is so flavoursome but does pack a punch like that, is if you wanted to go the vegetable route. I know we often kind of think that you're skipping on the flavour with the veggies. You don't have to do that. This is going to give, like you say, with the lentils, it's going to bring it to life.
Correct. Now, Graham, we're busy talking about Ethiopia, and I know South Africa has got 11 official languages, but you know that in Ethiopia they speak over 80 languages. 80.
That's why in the flag, that star, that beautiful star in the middle of the flag represents all of the nationalities that come together. We know one of the most popular, I think they're the third most populous nation in the world, so it stands to reason that it's a melting pot. And I love the fact that they've had to work so hard to fight for the freedom that they have now. You know, and I think that's a commonality between South Africa and Ethiopia, is the long walk to get to this point is something that really needs to be appreciated. Their freedom, they value higher than anything else.
All right, Graham, I just want to show you something here. I'm stirring this pot once because the whole idea is I don't want to not get the flavors in there. We want to brown our meat, but at the same time we want to make sure that it cooks down. So I'm going to let this sit for a bit.
Okay.
I'm adding some luxuriousness with some oil, and then I'm also, some butter, and I'm also going to add our yogurt to there, and then we're going to let this simmer down. cook down because we want our meat nice and tender. We want our meat nice and soft because it's a stew after all. The last thing you want is to bite into a chunk of meat and it's rubber.
So is that the kind of vibe here with when cooking with meat? Is you first kind of sear and caramelize to lock in that flavor, and then the low, kind of slow and long to break down the fibers of the meat?
You got it. That's just for prettiness. You know, everything has to look pretty.
Okay, I thought you were going to give me a job to do here, something. So
you know what I think you should do? Your job. Take some of that garnish you've got over there.
Okay.
Walk over to the other end there. Give me a taste and let you know what you think about this dish that we're making today. I'm going to go in and add the rest of our Clover Bliss to our stew right now.
Right, I'm making the long walk. Okay, is this coriander or... Just say it, man.
It's coriander, right? I came here knowing, okay?
Come on, man.
Take one for the team.
Come on. Okay, now I'll see. Let's see. Maybe this is... I'm constantly looking for the dish that is going to win me over. Oh, the meat is beautifully broken, but you get a sense of the spice and that flavor punch.
It's a yes from you.
Look, the coriander still completely ruins it, but that is delicious. And there is actually, despite not having a huge amount of chili, there's a lot of heat.
True.
So I think that the creaminess, you need it actually to balance it out. That Clover Bliss Double Cream makes a huge difference there. Let me take one more, but it's luxurious in the mouth, got a beautiful mouthfeel.
And guess what? All of your viewers can get all this information, this recipe, everything we've just mentioned here on expressioshow.com, so they don't need to worry about anything. They can share in this deliciousness just like you.
It's all in the spices, but that is beautiful. Absolutely. You're amazing, girl. You're amazing. Look at the little wink she gives me. Look at that little wink. Oh, just for me.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover, yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover.